Welcome back, nerdy movie fans. So for this video, I'm giving you guys some homework. So your homework's pretty easy. It's just one question. So a lot of you who've been watching horror movies, if you watch horror movies long enough, you've probably become almost numb to certain tropes and tricks in the book. So I want you to think of that one movie that surpassed your expectations as far as being creepier than you expected it to be and scarier than you expected it to be. And however you felt, think of that movie, however you felt seeing that, experiencing that for the first time. That's how I felt watching Shelby Oaks. So this movie was really creepy. It had a sinister plot, demented character choices, and everything just felt really evil. I mean, that's the way I would simply put it, is the plot and everything going on just felt evil. So, if you've seen the trailers for this movie, basically it's this girl, Riley, where she has her friends, this camera crew, where she and her friends are going to different haunted sites and locations to capture the supernatural on camera. And what happens is something goes wrong, and all of her friends end up, you don't know what happens at first, but something's happened to pretty much all about her. Riley is the survivor of this event that took place early on in the film, and the general movie takes place 12 years after this event, where her sister Mia, now 12 years later, is still trying to look for her sister. And so that's the spoiler-free synopsis for you guys. Doggy sneezing, that's what's going on. So that's the spoiler-free synopsis for you guys. So now we're going to get into some spoiler-free territory. I want to say about this movie is, like many of you that are probably used to the tropes and tricks used in horror movies, a jump scare is typically something that is associated with loud music, and someone or something pops out of the screen, comes from around a corner typically, and it's just loud and it's in your face, and that's supposed to be the jump scare. But in this movie, it's done a little differently. So in this movie, you hear the music sort of dies down, and the character is looking at something. You tell, oh, we're about to see what she's looking at. And then she looks aside, and it's just something normal. She looks to the other side, there's something normal. And then she turns around, and then there's something. So basically, the timing is what makes this movie, in my opinion, effective. That's what makes the scare tactics effective. Is you can try to predict when something's popping up, but you really can't. Not in this movie. And that's something I appreciate about a horror movie, is when it can go against the grain and become unpredictable, even in just the slightest aspect. So I appreciate it about this movie, and that's why I think I was constantly on the edge of my seat. I mean, I was engrossed in the plot. I was all in. I mean, I was enjoying the hell out of this. And so, like we said, her sister and her friends go missing. Their friends are found not long ago, and the sister's trying to find Riley. So, going into the spoiler territory now, guys, what happens is the opening of this movie is kind of like a nostalgic news recap. It's like you're watching the news back in the early 2000s. And that is generally the first 20 minutes of the movie, is as if you're watching a news report of the events of what happened to Riley. And so once you're caught up, once this recap is over and it's in the present now, we get, I think it's like the first scene, I think, after the recap, that this man shows up to Mia's door and shoots himself in the head, but is found with a videotape on him. So Mia, the police, and the public for years have scrubbed through Riley's videos trying to find any kind of clue or inclination of what happened, who took her, or what took her. So with this new video, she's finally able to have an advantage on the case. Obviously, she's now seeing footage for the first time. And of course, this is what propels the story, because it gives her clues as to what's really going on. So now she has a couple locations she can check out and do some investigating on her own. And so that's what pushes this movie really forward, is her investigation. I feel like it's the middle of the movie, and it really leads into the last third as well. So, with this movie, as she's going to this location and that location, there's just some really sinister forces going on where the way it's filmed and the way the plot is rolling, it just feels like something creepy is happening. It makes your skin crawl, just the way this evil force is sort of portrayed in this movie. And when we get toward the last third of the movie, after she's gone from location to location, she finally finds this camper, I think, mobile home, whatever you call it. It's a home in the middle of the woods with this creepy old lady at the porch. And so this is going to be a lot more spoilers. So now's your time to back out if you don't want to know how it ends. When she goes to this house that basically hellhounds led her to, this woman says, oh, come on in, have some tea. Here's a little snack. And just being this nice old woman. But Mia starts to see that something else is going on. This evil incubus symbol she's seen in a couple of previous locations, she's now found the symbol in this woman's home. And after a confrontation where she finds photos of Riley there with the man that had already killed himself, she's now questioning what is going on. I mean, obviously, this random woman now has this dead guy and Riley in her photo album, pretty much. And so as she's confronting her about it, this woman opens up this hidden door to a basement and says, go on in, here's your sister. And so Mia goes in and does find Riley, but I mean, this is just an unsettling movie. Seeing the condition she's in, I mean, it's hard to watch. And as Mia's trying to open this cage, we see Riley's perspective. She keeps seeing something behind Mia, and this is the intensity this movie creates, is you're on the edge of your seat because you're expecting something to happen where you see like the side shadow of something in the background, and it gets even more demented than that. Mia helps Riley out of this basement, while Riley takes off upstairs, and they find a baby who is part of this ritual this old woman is creating with this evil figure behind her, doing this weird ritual where the blood is being dripped onto this baby, and this lady is basically using the Force. The Star Wars fan in me calls it the Force, raising Riley into midair, collapsing her on the ground, and there's this big standoff where this woman, basically, I think it's meant to kill her during this ritual. This figure disappears, and Mia doesn't know what the hell's going on, but hey, here's Riley's baby, and here's Riley, so I guess I'm taking them home. And then we get a little bit of a news report again toward the end of the movie, recapping what is it like having Riley home. And we get a little bit of a recap. I think it's 2 or 3 minutes. It feels very short, especially compared to the recap in the opening of the movie. And as Mia's thanking the reporter outside her house, hey, thanks, we'll get the footage together, off they go. She goes back into Riley's room. This is the climax of the movie. This is the final, I think, 2 minutes. Is Riley has a pillow above the baby's cradle because Riley wants to kill the baby. And so, obviously, Mia, who has wanted to have kids but never had the time for it, as she explains in the movie, now she has a niece, nephew, I guess, and has this baby that Riley's trying to kill. So her motherly instincts take in and starts fighting Riley because whatever Riley has been through, obviously now she's trying to kill the baby. The baby now takes priority, rightfully so. But during this altercation, Riley falls out the window. Her body's broken, as you can tell, but then hellhounds once again show up to eat and finish Riley's body. So as Mia is watching as this happens in the final scene of the movie, this figure finally touches Mia on the shoulder. For the first time, this thing has come in contact with her personally. This figure has been seen a couple times throughout the movie, but always in the shadows. Now we see the figure and is basically consoling Mia because it's almost like he got what he wanted. He wanted Riley dead, now she's dead. And we don't know what's going on with the baby. It was some ritual, some sacrifice for the devil or whatever. And so, if they do a prequel, or not prequel, a sequel for this movie, I think it would explain the cult behind whatever is being done to the baby. But I don't know if it really needs a sequel. That's just the only thing I can stretch to think of if they move forward with another movie. Because if it makes money, they're going to make another. That's how it works. But it ends on a very eerie note where she finally got her sister back after all this time, but now she's dead. But now she has a baby she always wanted. So, it's a very it's a very dark ending. So, I love this movie a lot. I mean, my review, I don't think does this movie any justice. This is something you have to go see for yourself. Experience this movie. I mean, there's so many tropes. If you watch horror movies before, if you watch the series Supernatural, when you see the figure in this movie and the hellhounds involved, if you've seen Supernatural, you'll know what kind of creature this is, what's going on. But for those of you who haven't, you get a little bit more backstory into what this thing is. And it's really interesting, especially the way it's made in this movie. Just makes it sinister, evil, creepy, and all those things in between. So this was an effective movie, scared the crap out of me, and I can't wait to watch it again. So thanks for watching my review of it, guys. Keep it digging, as always, and I'll see you next time.